Hey there, Taurus. How are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. And this week, wanting to sort of focus on that new upcoming energy, as well as I will be doing a career and finances portion. I do want to just let everybody know if we could, leave a comment. You will go in the draw for that free personal reading that'll be drawn when we hit 100 subscribers. So make sure you're subscribing as well to keep updated. And we'll sort of get on into it for you today. But when we do sort of that general and new energy portion, I do have the Slavic folklore lenormand deck with me. And then when we move over to career and finances, I do have the Reflect de Lune lenormand as well as the Moon Magic Oracle deck here, okay? So I will timestamp when I swap over to the career section as well, but we'll sort of get started for us today on that general and new energy coming in for Taurus. New incoming energy for Taurus, please. Taurus and new energy headed your way. Taurus, please. Okay, so definitely got that new energy showing its face for you. I just want to get a clarity card for this first one. Clarity for this first card, please. Okay, and what is that fourth card in regard to? Please clarify that fourth card. What is that in regard to? Okay, so all linking back up to itself there. Okay, so firstly, we do have the clouds energy coming through for you there. So something quite heavy in your thoughts at this time there, Taurus. And that was clarified by the heart card there. Okay, so for some of you, this is going to be directly about love, heavy on your thoughts there, possibly to the point of confusion or anxiety over sort of what's going on with your love life at this current time. But for a lot of you, that's just going to be that general, that the general more platonic loves in your life, love for yourself, love for the things that you do in life, those sorts of things as well. But for majority of you, this probably is talking about, like romantic love. Okay, so heavy in your thoughts at the moment, something, maybe something in particular that is sort of swirling around in your brain there. The clouds do really talk about, you know, having a bit of doubt and confusion within your thoughts as well, but we do sort of see that you are sort of heavy in that mind space, and when that's clarified by the heart card there, it does sort of remind us that you know you're to remember that your emotions and your logic are two different things. Your head and your heart, two different areas. So whatever's sort of coming through for you, it is reflected in both at the moment. So really wanting to make sure we are looking for the silver lining in those clouds. So not letting sort of confusion take control. Really just getting back down to the basics of what is it that I do feel, and having that loving space for yourself as well when it comes to the way that you're thinking about things, remembering to love yourself first and foremost, and help yourself stay out of those negative thinking patterns, and stick to the more positive loving thoughts. All right. So then we do have the Herald, which in the traditional decks, that is the Stork energy. So that really does stir up new energy. All right. And that was followed by the Book. So once again, another kind of new energy headed in there. So both sort of talking about that new energy. So that stork really does stir up the new things coming in for you. So whatever's been going on through your thought system there, we are looking at some sort of, change and transition and movement that's sort of getting stirred up and heading into a new direction for you. So changing those thoughts from negative patterns to the more positive, loving patterns for yourself there. So definitely that transition and heading into that book energy. So we do sort of see that, new chapters in your life unfolding, and that reminder that our story has not yet been written, and it's up to you to write your story. Okay, but with the book, I am getting a bit of the sometimes it does talk about researching things, getting a little bit of further education. So if that's something that's been going on for you, you're considering further education, now probably is a really great time to sort of bring that up for yourself as well, and transition into, learning a little bit more about yourself and what it is that you really want, and how to, get out of these negative thought patterns. That even just that, sometimes, if we do research a little bit of, ideas of how to break negative cycles in thinking. It does just give us another way of looking at things, which really can help transition us into a much more positive aspect with the way that we are thinking about things. But at the end of the day, it really does talk about that new energy coming through. The book has not yet been written, so it's up to you to sort of, open up that next chapter and get started, and then we do have the fish card coming through for you there, Taurus. So the fish really does talk about abundance. It is a financial card, so it can talk about wealth and finance as well, but you know, obviously we'll see when we do get into the career and finances portion for you, but, abundance just in general. So these abundant new chapters sort of beginning for you, that are going to bring in, abundance to all different areas of your life. And I do feel as though it's going to connect back to your thought patterns as well. So abundantly sort of changing those thought patterns, and bringing new thoughts into your consciousness there as well, because that was sort of clarified with that moon card. Okay, so that once again does talk about the emotions, and the things that we do dream for in this world, as well as following your intuition as well. So with the heart and the moon both sort of clarifying that message, it does kind of let us know that, yeah, we are sort of moving into a stage where we are going to be able to, transition the way that we're thinking about things, really start following our intuition, and in a loving kind of manner towards ourselves, and bringing sort of more abundance in for ourselves just in general, but also in the way that we are looking at ourselves, on that emotional kind of level as well. All right. So something to keep in mind there, following your intuition a little bit, and really trying to focus on coming from that loving space within yourself, rather than allowing yourself to get stuck in your thoughts. All right. But we'll move over to your career portion. So Taurus and career and finances. Career and finances for Taurus. Oh, lovely. We do have the moon in Taurus card coming out for you there, Taurus. So definitely in your own energy, which is fantastic when it comes to those career and financial type readings. It does sort of say that, we're sitting solidly within ourselves when it comes to our career and our finances. Now, that does say now is a time for focusing on finances and practical matters. Okay, so we did see in your general sort of portion, making sure we're coming from a loving space, but now we're sort of moving over to the career and finances, wanting some more solid, practical focus when it comes directly to career and finances. So you may be finding that in your personal life, like I said, that did look like it was possibly to do with your love situation in the general there. So, really coming from an emotional space and saving that hard thinking, thoughts zone for logical thinking when it comes to finances and career. But we'll get you some lenormand as well. Taurus and their career and finances, please. Taurus, career and finances for Taurus, please. Okay, and just one more for Taurus and their career and finances. Okay, and I just want to clarify if this, I do have the masculine energy coming out first and foremost. I just want to clarify if that's you or somebody else, Taurus. Is that Taurus or somebody else? Okay, so that's definitely you, Taurus. We do have that clarified by that clouds card. So since we did see that as your first card in that last general portion, it's pretty safe to assume that that is you over here in this masculine energy. Okay, so with the masculine energy, it is someone who is very linked up to the clouds card as well, because they are sort of stoic and non-emotional, very controlling of the way that they think about things, very logical, the way that they think through things there. Okay, so we are sort of looking at you kind of like we sort of did see there in that general reading, needing to be more emotional when it comes to matters of the heart and things that are close to you in your personal life. But then when we are looking at your career and your finances, we are sort of needing to be the opposite and be sort of in that very logical, factual kind of manner, controlling of all those little bits and pieces when it does come to, your career or your finances at the moment. Okay, so and that was sort of followed through with the house energy. So that's security and stability as well. So being secure in where you're headed within your career, being stable, having stable finances, and really sort of coming to like looking at your finances with that more logical, stable sense. What's going to give you the most long-term stability within your finances and that kind of a thing as well. So you are going to need to be kind of logical, mannered when it comes to your career and finances in this next sort of week or so. Um, Especially when we are seeing, next we do have the letter and the scythe coming through for you. Okay, so needing to, that letter is all about communication. So text messages, emails, it could be work related emails or communication, even talking face to face to people. But there is some sort of a communication that's going to bring through unexpected changes for you. So you're really going to have to be thinking things through logically and about what's going to give you the longest, like the most job security, and the longest, most stable financial situation. I feel as though if you stick to what's going to be the long-term stability and that job security factors, those are going to see you clear, one way or the other, because this communication, it is coming in quite quick. Okay, and it is going, the scythe is a super sort of quick card. It does talk about sudden, unexpected kind of changes, maybe even breaking away from certain aspects within your, the way you've dealt with things in the past with your career or finances. But we are sort of, it's really just more about that sudden change. Okay, so there is something suddenly coming in, from some sort of communication. This could be talking about paperwork, that kind of a thing, that might be sort of just changing the way that you're dealing with your career, the way that we are dealing with our finances. All right, so there may be some sort of unexpected change coming in for you this week that's really going to get you thinking about, you know what do I need to do to ensure the stability and the long-term security of this job or my finances? All right, so there's definitely some sort of communication coming in, but it's actually going to lead to growth. Okay, so we do see the tree finalizing that layout there. So whatever this change is, it is going to lead to some sort of growth. We are also, once again, I did mention in that general portion with the book, it can sometimes talk about gaining extra knowledge. And the tree is all about that knowledge factor as well, that having that inner wisdom to sort of see yourself clear. But also, yeah, once again, I do feel I need to mention that there may be some sort of unexpected communication about some education that you do need to look into um, to to further your self growth when it comes to your finances. Okay, so if there is any sort of education that you can be looking at to help you further your finances or your career, that it's definitely a good sort of time to be looking at those things. But mostly that's just talking about coming into a period of growth. When we did see the abundance also in that general area, we're feeling that same sort of vibe with this tree as well. Okay, so whatever's happening for you in this next week with this communication coming in, it is giving you the opportunity to grow even more stability and security within your job or your career. Okay, so that's actually looking super positive for you guys there, Taurus. The tree really does, it's talking about, branching out into new areas of your career. It's talking about branching out into new financial opportunities, going out on a limb even. But really just talking about that nurturing yourself within your career and nurturing your finances, and they're sort of going to grow into this big solid tree. Okay, so definitely looking like a positive sort of message for you. It's just really for you this week, I feel, Taurus, it's going to be about dividing that the way that you're looking, the way that you're thinking about things. Okay, so um thinking about things quite logically and practical when it comes to your career and finances. But then when we are seeing our personal life, we're really wanting to make sure we're coming from a loving space and taking our emotions into consideration as well. All right. So that's what I have for you today, Taurus. Let me know how that resonates for you and what's going on with your particular situation. Like I said, everyone that comments will go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. But if this is where we leave each other, thank you so much for your time today.